So yeah, so now I can handle it a little bit more, but it's just still not my preference.
Oh, well, I went to Fireside and I had a oxtail taco.
Yeah, I
I'm
had that
talking
too.
about absolutely fire.
You,
I loved it.
so you know what? This is what I say about the oxtail taco. It's a great portion,
Hmm.
and the oxtail meat is great. I'm just
Hmm.
more of a savory oxtail
Yeah.
person, and there's a little bit of sweet to that. It
Okay.
wasn't bad, it just isn't my
Right.
preference.
Right.
But if you're one of those folks who likes that little extra little kind of tang to it,
Hmm.
it's a phenomenal taco. The first night that
Yeah.
I went there, um, that's what I had. I tried the fish taco and I tried the oxtail taco.
Yeah.
I've gone back for the fish, but I've told everybody the oxtail is for you if that's,
Yeah.
I'm just more of a
I
savory
love
oxtail
that. It's
person.
crazy because I normally don't even eat oxtail. Like I'm just say it clear. I don't really eat a lot of slave foods, but if that
Okay.
makes sense, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, as much as our culture kind of, digs a lot of the, I would say some unhealthy stuff,
Yeah.
I'm just not into it. And then like for me, it's like you get an oxtail, you got to struggle to kind of get the meat off the bone or something like that. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into eating sunflower seed food
Uh-huh.
stuff that I got
Right.
to keep getting
Work
it.
so
Just
hard to get a little bit. That's how I feel
yeah,
about pomegranates.
yeah, pomegranate because of all the
Yeah,
seeds
you
and
do all
stuff.
that work and it's these little tiny little
Yeah.
bits.
So, but I still feel that same way when it comes to like crab legs. Like I
Yes.
like regular
Yeah.
crab legs.
I
I don't
swear
even
the crab
whatever the
legs
reg.
off for the same
I
reason.
have to have like the king crab if that makes
We're
sense.
so we're lazy, fussy little eaters. But
Yeah.
no, but
No.
that's real. I go for the lobster tail over the
Mm-hmm.
crab leg for that same reason. I don't want to be in here working, and I've actually cut myself on crab legs before
You was
too.
trying to use your hands to
Yeah,
open it.
you crack it at the
Yes.
knuckle and pull it. If you slick, you can crack it at the knuckle and pull it out,
Yeah.
and sometimes it don't work. And then
You,
yeah,
you see how beautiful and delicate my hands are. Listen,
it's
I'm
not
not
for
finna
you.
tear my hands up doing it. I'm gonna use a cutter. I'm gonna
Yep,
use
scissors,
scissors,
crack
all
it
that.
open. That's too much.
Yeah, so when I see an oxtail, I'm just like, I'm not finna fight for a little meat. I love their at Fireside they had the oxtail taco, and then again, it's like you eating food and you think you're supposed to swallow, but then you got oxtail sometimes will have like some fat on it,
Mm-hmm.
like on that bony fat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like eating, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I spit out the window, like, "Psh, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
So I just was like, it was a really great taco,
Yeah.
but still also be in mind that there could be bone or like a little
Well, yeah, because
fat
they're
or something like
literally
that.
rendering it. They're cooking it so long that they're rendering it off of the
Yeah.
bone. Because yeah, oxtails in the like the oxtail, it's not worth the reward for me. But I do it. I love an oxtail if it's pulled off the.
Pull it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I've got a couple different things. Like I've got a place in my favorite taco place in Brooklyn. Actually, that's what brings me there. Is they've got the oxtail and they've got the goat meat.
Goat meat.
And those are yeah. People make that face at me, but
No, I like goat meat. It is
yeah,
a little
if
gamey.
you see, I don't know if it's halal, it just is healthier. So
Okay, halal. Like you might have to explain what halal
halal
is.
is an African version of kosher. So when you talk about food being koshered, halal is a way that you raise and butcher and prepare the meat that's more healthfully.
Okay.
It's more clean for us.
It's another we talking about restaurant and obviously I make no excuses for being very pro-black, especially in these days in these economy, right? Because you're talking about restaurant week. That's my mind to start. There, the other restaurant is on Willie Street as well. Is Iowa Delicia, something like
She's
that?
actually on Atwood.
Atwood, okay.
Yes.
My Madison geographics is bad, so let's start
But
there.
that's right. So it's all one corridor, though. Really,
Yeah.
Atwood to Willie Street is really
Mm-hmm.
becoming quite the foodie walk.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited about this partnership with Baraka because I can't wait to see being able to have people walk up and down and like have a BR people have a BR vibe because that block
Yeah.
right there between Coda and Baraka should be
I
a
agree.
real nice summer experience. So that's what we're looking forward to. But yeah. So her whiting fish in her
The,
peanut
how
stew.
do you pronounce the name? Iowa Delicio.
Delicious de Iowa. I think it's the other way. Delicious de Iowa.
That makes sense. Delicious de Iowa. Yeah.
But we're not saying it right yet
Yeah.
either.
Somebody tell us what the name of that place
But
is if you
yeah.
know it.
So
But
she's been we've been let's see, we've been supporting her business for a long time. She was one of our first food vendors at Badge Rock Community Market.
yeah.
And so and then when I used to work at Goodman, I had her at the Goodman Center, we would host every year the Young African Professional Groups, and their welcome dinner. I would always have her come cook, and so the whiting fish and her peanut stew were always my two favorites. I gotta go check it out too. Her hours were, when she first opened her hours were a little it just never aligned for me. But I think it's because she was doing, as usual, hustling, doing a couple different things. So.
I think I got the goat there before or something. So I got the goat there. A little gamey is what you say. So you got to kind of season to your flavor, a little salt or a little pepper or something like that. But yeah, I always just tell people to try to go out and support local, black and brown vendors if you can. Because all that stuff is going into the economy, like restaurant workers, from staff to like the host, and those people work so hard, some, underpaid, and the tip stuff, now they're passing the no tax on tip, or is that passed already? You heard about that?
Was it just passed? I feel like if it wasn't just passed, it's about to be, but I feel like that was part of that big, beautiful bill situation.
Yeah.
Right?
So people work so hard. Make sure you go support the people and tip. And if you are out servicing, getting services for somewhere or someone, please make sure you tip if possible.
Absolutely.
If you can't afford to tip, maybe just eat at home. If you have bad service, maybe you can give people a heads up of what they did so they can become better, and don't just it's about your attitude for me. Yeah.
If I can tell that you're new at the job, or it's a skill based thing, but your attitude is great, I'm still tipping you. I might even tip you a little better. But if it's your attitude, I'm definitely one of those people. I don't have no problem not leaving you a tip. I work too hard for this money.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's so crazy. I still tip people regardless. I probably won't tip them as much if you don't do well.
I won't. I absolutely make my statement with my dollars.
I should do that. I think a lot of times I know people are messed up or they're trying. I just probably won't tip them as much. A lot of times I tip like 25%. A lot of times, even though I shouldn't. Most times I do.
I'm never that generous.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then if you're like little less than basic, I might do 22, 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I always show love.
So y'all waitresses, y'all better keep an eye out for Mr.
You know what's so crazy?
Mr. Antoine McNeil, he's the big tipper.
No, but if they do very poorly, I would still probably do 15% at worst case scenario.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm 18.
Yeah.
If you really snapped, you might hit that. Let me be real though. Also at the restaurant that I go to most, it's not about percentages, right?
Yeah.
I don't calculate the percentage. I pretty much if I got a $5 bill on a $5 tip, I just kind of hit them with the same, but it shows. When I come in, they know me by name.
Yeah.
They know my couple of seats that I prefer. They're coming over with my ice water and my coffee. Like they know.
I've been with you. They rolled out the red carpet one time. They know
people. People.
We walked in. They threw flowers on the ground. They're like,
he's exaggerated, but
they said the queen is here
over there at the park.
As soon as we walked in, they're like, "She's your queen to be." I said, "What is happening?" Yeah.
I mean, but that's because a couple summers ago, I used to be in there so early in the same booth. Like, one of my friends laughingly called me the Godfather in there because I would...
Called you the Godfather.
Called me the Godfather.
Very interesting.
Right, but, with Godmother doesn't have the same
connotation
as Godfather.
Okay.
But it was a joke because I was having meetings in there, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, from breakfast to lunch, I was in there, and then different people would come sit down. Okay. And he came in and saw it, was like, that's like your third person coming through, what you holding court over there, funny. Right? But so I showed them love because, I was spending money and the people coming in were spending money, and not every restaurant's going to let you sit there for 4 hours and do business.
Yeah, I'm glad they show love to you. I'm glad to be part of the accommodations.
I love them over there.
I see DJ Sneaky Gator commented real quick. He said food truck today at Leopold Elementary at 11 o'clock, free groceries. So there's a food truck today at Leopold Elementary at 11 a.m. and free groceries. So y'all make sure y'all check that out if you are in Madison, Wisconsin. And shout out to all the amazing people who are joining in on live, saying good morning and stuff of that nature. Hold on, let me let her throw her deuces up real quick. Go ahead, tell them. Yeah, you supposed to say something. Yeah, so
They saw it. Look, me and my kids are the only people that throw deuces and look like we gangbanging. My son was like, "Wait, what'd you just throw up?" I'm like, "The deuces," but I'd be like,
yeah. Sometimes people throw up the deuce and then it's like the L left. I'm like, is
"Yeah,
this a
no."
gang
I
sign or
definitely make
something?
sure it's just the two because
Yeah,
I grew up in that era. I know all
yeah.
that,
I was
but
like, come on, let's
but
keep it
and
peaceful.
yet it feels like whenever I throw it up, it's still the same energy. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
so
You supposed to
whatever.
you throw it up, throw it up, throw your set up. That's a whole nother.
Okay, my set is now peace or deuces.
Yes.
It's interchangeable. I mean, they're telling you peace, like keep the peace,
Yeah.
or deuces. I'm
You
gone.
you know what that reminds me of, and it sounds like a slight segue. I think it's very important for people to learn to throw up or represent what you do, as opposed to trying to throw down and hate on what someone else does.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a whole thing. Like, and I can. There's a lot of different terminologies that I can go for that. Like, imagine like two businesses. If I particularly like one business, how about I highlight and compliment that business
Yeah,
as
instead of
opposed to
shitting on the other.
bashing the other one, right? So if it come to two basketball players, I could like Michael Jordan, and then I'm like, oh, people make this. Somebody might like LeBron. You don't have to tear down. I
I'm
don't
not
have
a
to tear
Jordan
down
fan.
LeBron, right? And I feel that, right? You don't
I
have
used
to
to
be a
be
Jordan fan, right?
like as a player, I loved him back in
Yeah.
the day when but as
Yeah.
an adult, I realized that some of his investments don't align with me
What,
ethically.
prison industrial complex type thing?
Well, and
Yeah.
also just the ridiculous, crazy markup on any of his items, which he's not the only one guilty of that, but. You know,
It's a
we all know
capitalistic
the stories
society.
about all the folks who have lost their lives behind some Jordan. So,
Yeah, it's crazy because this is a capitalistic society. So
man,
you expect for people who are in business to be capitalists. Some people do not like when some people thrive very well in that aspect. But going back to the throwing it up, like the Packers and Bears thing, I saw it was going crazy. Some
yeah,
people are like talking crazy there on their post there, other people's comment. And for me, I don't really care about football. However, I care for anything that's representing the state. So if it was the Bucks, I mean the Badgers, the Brewers, like the
okay. So you're
whatever.
a state loyal.
Yeah, just
Okay.
because I mean I'm loyal to the home team, right? And I get conflicted sometimes when the Badgers is playing and then Milwaukee is playing, right? UWM and UW Badgers, right? But I'm still rooting for the home team for Milwaukee just because that's where I'm from.
Okay.
Even though I went to school here at
You watch the
UW.
Bucks?
I do occasionally. A lot of times I don't have cable, so they have to come on like
Gotcha.
regular TV or Amazon Prime or something. But I say that to say like I was rooting for the Packers to win. At no point in time was I like, oh, the Bears are terrible, you suck, you,
Yeah.
right? And I saw a lot of that, so it was like there was more hate going on than there was celebration and a positive effect for the other team. So I just never really got that. I'm thankful I don't, because I kind of get into hater vibes to me.
You know, and it's always interesting because there's a line between like playful sports rivalry and some folks taking it too personal and going too far. I agree. I saw a little bit of that as well.
Yeah, and they're going. They're still going in now.
Thought, but the Bears, like this is Bear country still. Like I know it's Wisconsin, but you know it's yeah.
They right down the street, and what I said when I did a video, I said most of the people. So once Green Bay lost, and then Chicago was playing next. If I was a hater, I would have took I don't want the Pack. I mean, I don't want the Bears to win because they beat our team. No, like in my opinion, where I come from, a lot of the people I went to school with, a lot of the people who support me at my shows, a lot of the people in Madison are from Chicago. Well, you know what I mean?
On another level, lots of people glorify and glamorize Chicago, right? People from Madison. Anyway, we're getting off topic, and I think it's interesting that there will be
just don't be no hater.
Because in another situation, we will absolutely uphold and glorify.
Yeah, I'm just saying you ain't got to throw something. You don't have to throw something down in order to. But past sports,
and then all them black athletes on the Bears, we should be happy that they got a little boost in their paycheck. I guess I don't know. But I do. I want to have a couple conversations. So first of all, thank y'all for tuning in. 89.9 FM W.O.R.T. the Tuesday 8:00 Buzz Show. I want to talk about Black History Month because as I was thinking about what to talk about today, because our guest is sick, so we were going to have a guest coming in, and they got the bug right now. So shout out to Jackie Bodine who's going to come in and talk to us about his birthday.
Stay home if you're sick.
Right, that's what I said too. So hopefully he's feeling better and. I don't want to get sick.
Just
My little
anybody.
grandbaby just got me sick the other week, so I'm
I
trying to
hope
stay.
I hope
Oh no, I'm better.
you better
away.
please stay away.
I wasn't in here.
Yeah, you're gonna sit right next to me talking about, yeah, I was sick. You need to listen, I am which is a hypochondriac. If I hear or see somebody cough, I look at them crazy like it's in COVID.
I swear.
I don't even like shaking hands.
People, I'll be like, oh, but okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even like shaking hands.
So when you think about Black History Month, what are a couple of the things that you know people tend to say, negative complaining about Black History Month? One,
it's too short. That's the complaint I get. It's too short this month,
okay.
And it's really cold.
Yeah,
they get the coldest and the shortest month.
Okay, I don't think the coldest.
Because now we gotta look at January.
Is one that I always hear about, but it makes sense. But so I did a little research about why it was in February. Okay, are you ready?
Tell me why Black History Month is in February.
So this is what I found. So originally, February was chosen to align with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, which is recognized in February. Being from a slave background, I guess we don't know for sure when the man was born, but he was celebrated in February. And so these 2 days already held significance in the Black community. And so therefore, it was just made formal for February. So that's the reason. Because Black folks were already.
Martin Luther King.
Because we were already in celebration of folks and focused on, I guess. Okay, so that's the first thing that I found. The other thing that I found is that Black History Month first began as Negro History Week in 1926.
Carter G. Woodson? Or who made that?
Yes, Carter G. Woodson.
Okay.
All right. Y'all didn't know, but he used to teach Black history at the African Saturday School.
I didn't teach Black history. I just was at an African American Ethnic Academy where I taught something called SETCLAY, which is self-esteem through culture leads to academic excellence. And that was by a gentleman, Jawanza Kunjufu, amazing.
I'd be always simplifying it.
Yeah, SETCLAY. So, and then I also...
I'm so impressed with it, and I always simplify it whenever I tell people that. You're like, no, actually, that's not what I did.
No, because I also was doing my one motion sessions through there. So I got 8 areas of empowerment. So I was combining those.
Okay.
Let's keep it going. Come on, don't let me stop you.
So then, as it expanded, so take a guess, little trivia guess. What year do you think that it was officially turned into Black History Month from the Negro History Week?
From a week?
From a week to actual Black History Month.
I'm going to say maybe 76.
Did you look at the thing or did you already know?
No, not at all. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
That is really.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Antoine to being dope.
Right? He gets a.
On the real, that's crazy. Shout out to me, man. I'm finna go play the lottery, man. I'm gonna go play the lottery.
That's crazy to me that in my lifetime, I put my age out there. In my lifetime is when Black History Month. Like it always blows my mind when you hear people celebrating the first Black something. Like even just,
I agree.
Like even in this right now contemporary, right? We will still hear about the first Black blah blah blah, and it also blows my mind. Yeah. So Black History Month started out Negro History Week in 1926. Founded by Carter G. Woodson, who is a historian, recognized that the Black contribution was being erased and ignored. That's what it said. And it wasn't even ChatGPT this time.
Okay. Come on.
So the goal was visibility, preservation, and correction, not segregation. Yeah. And now, in 1976, it became an actual month. Okay. So then, I was like... And then people are like, Black history should be celebrated all year long, right? That's the next thing that people say.
That's me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like this next one that I bring up, though. When I found this little bit of information, I thought of you. So, Black History Month should be every month, right? And that's a statement is true in theory, but not in practice. And so then, the next thing that came up was like, so... we don't celebrate women after Women's History Month, right? We don't stop celebrating women. We don't stop honoring veterans after Veterans Day, right? So then I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, is there a Men's History Month? Which my gut already told me
There has
probably
to
not.
be.
There's not.
There's not?
There is not a black men's, no, not black men's.
Okay.
There's not a men's history month, but there is a men's International Men's Day.
Okay.
So in November.
That makes sense.
November 19th is International Men's Day. And of course, the reason why there is not currently, this is the last page. Of
the reason that is not will literally make sense to me already.
Tell me what you think it is.
I just think because, like, America is a very patriarchal society, right? And then there's no need to, like, uplift and boost, like, it's like the status quo, like, these are the people who are making the laws and the blah, 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 and women didn't have the right to vote and all this other stuff, so women history should be upheld, in my opinion.
You are,
Right. I agree. Come on. I'm glad you said it because literally I was thinking the same thing. But if I said it, it came across different, and I didn't want no calls into the radio station.
You did not want to be.
Hello,
have me give my disclaimer.
Hello, Bob. Listen, man. We started doing White History Month, man.
But that's real. That is exactly the reason that it came up. Is that so? Critics argued that establishing a Men's History Month would overshadow the struggles and achievements of historically marginalized groups. And that basically that they're when we talk about the base culture, that's who we're thinking about. White Protestant males is what, right?
It makes sense to me.
But at the same time, the work that I do very specifically about empowering black men lets me know that while, like, it's a both and, right? Absolutely, history, even the word, is rooted in patriarchy. Okay?
That's true.
When we, I just remember when I first started learning from Dr. Joyce DeGrasse, I never say it right.
Degrassi, the school. You was watching a TV show.
Did I say it right? No, you know what I'm talking about.
Degrassi, the show.
That's how you say it?
You start learning.
That's not how you say it.
I'm being outraged.
I know who I'm talking about. With the post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Okay.
DeGrasse?
Just
when I first started reading hers, she talked about kind of her inspiration for starting. So she was teaching a 101 introductory culture, like African American culture type of class at a college campus. And she talks about how the first day she would ask everybody to identify their culture, their race, right? Talk about who they are. And that every single student would start out in a place of describing themselves from race, gender, religion, role, right? Like, I'm a single black mom, blah, blah, okay, right? All of these things. And the only person that would not, generally would not describe themselves like that and would talk about more like adjectives, I'm friendly, I'm would be white men, right? And this evolved into the idea that we have created that as the norm so that even they consider themselves of course I wouldn't explain that I'm a white man.
Right.
Because
something that you can see, obviously, right?
Right? Versus every person outside of that identity feels like they have to qualify themselves by naming that, right? So that's real. And at the same time, literally the work that we're doing with men has shown me the lack of attention that we have paid to uplifting and empowering men, to addressing men's issues, right?
Yeah.
And so both of those things exist. And then also very much more in our work, it's niched into black male, American black experience, and then the male added to that. So I just thought that, but I thought that you might have something to say about that. And it's interesting that you actually sound like you agree with it versus noticing the gap in where there is no, and should it be Black history and we should focus on black men of importance during that time? I mean, obviously it should be all year. We should be educating ourselves on our culture and our history.
Yeah, I think John hit the nail on the head there, right? And it goes back to the idea that, you think black people, we make reference to black power, right? And when you hear white power, you hear something totally different, if that makes sense. For some, many.
No,
right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Unless you're within that.
Right.
Right.
So take the same thing to Black Lives Matter, and then this all lives, blue lives matter. So there's the constructs of the people who are marginalized and people who are typically stereotyped in a negative way, that those people need their voices out there. There's no point to say the other things because that already exists. So yeah, I already agree that You don't necessarily need a men's history day because
Yeah, I'm
everything you
not
hear is
campaigning
about.
for it. I'm just pointing out.
Yeah, neither am I. But going
Okay.
back to you talking about like Black history,
Yeah.
I think it's very important to like think about. I don't know. I think about like Wisconsin for so many reasons. Madison, Milwaukee, and stuff like we still have the it would be the first black whatever
Yeah.
business. It'll be the first statue at I think they got one with a Shirley Chisholm or something at the Capitol.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the first black like we're still doing that. And I think a lot of people don't realize here in Wisconsin and particularly in Madison, this is one of the worst statistically places to be as an African American. The worst. Like we're not making up this stuff. Start looking at numbers. So we literally have to do things to change things, uh, individually break generational curses. We have to increase our finances. We have to become homeowners, and we also have to deal with battle systematic racism and oppression and things that the systems that are broken for us. Right? We look at home ownership in Dane County for Black people. I think it's somewhere under 10%. You look at UW Madison population of students, it hovers somewhere between 2 to 3%. 3 would be a high number, right? At one point in time, they had photoshopped a long time ago a guy named Diallo into a UW sports picture, like he was at a Badger game, right? So those students, when you go to school, I went to school, a proud Badger, and when people ask my family members, other people, hey, what about your family going to UW or such and such? I said, no, don't. And then why not? Is it a good school? Yes, it's a great school. Yes, it's prestigious, but you do want them to have some experience that people that look like them. If I'm in a lecture hall and there's 400 people in a lecture, there might be 4 of us, maybe. You know what I mean? And it depends on how that person identifies and how they grew up. So we're talking about Black history. We are in Wisconsin where we are what, somewhere about 13% of the population here?
Is it 13?
Or do you think 7?
16?
Now I'm gonna go around about 13% of some of the population, but we're still doing things that it sounds very old, antiquated to be like, oh, I'm the first black. That's crazy to me. So every day when I live my life, I go out as a proud black man. I go out making sure that I'm making a difference to the world. I try to make sure I represent myself as a father, as a man, in my community, in my business, because I can go to, and I'm gonna use the word just because I'm a comedian, comedy club on stage, and I can see that people will go there in droves because that has history on it, right? I can go look at my shows, and I'm struggling to maybe get people to come in. We're black owned, black operated, and all this other stuff. We need to take that same notion towards business towards we would local business or small business or black business. So in my mind, when I see stuff, any business, that's why when you even mention restaurant week, my mind is like, well, here are some of the restaurants that I think we should try. And obviously we're talking about culture. Some people haven't had goat. Some people haven't had a fish taco, or you haven't been to Fireside or Delicia de Iowa. I'm messing her name up, but
for sure, I know that part is Iowa.
Yeah,
I think it's Delicia.
Some of the people haven't. So I'm gonna always push us and basically encourage making Black history every day. For me to be a Black comedian here every day, I can go ask people like, hey, which comedian in Madison won Madison's favorite comedian 22 or best of comedian 2025 or 2023? This is nothing that's small. The people who are I don't want to use the word competition because I don't really look at things like competing, right? But the people who are also selected in those same fields, those people have 8, 9, 10, 12 people as a business. And I'm running stuff on myself, and then I'm in the same category as 18 or 19 other group of 18, 19, the numbers are against me. So for me to win certain things, it's me making Black history every year, every month, if that makes sense. We're celebrating 10 years here. You can't tell me another thing or a place has been doing like Black owned business has been doing comedy for 10 years straight, no drama, no issues and stuff like that. So it's about making Black history daily. So sorry to get on my soapbox talking about Madison.
It was actually a perfect another perfect segue, because my next question to you, sir, is Will you do anything specific in February to acknowledge and celebrate Black History Month?
I don't know that I would do anything specifically different. The only thing that I do different, I think, is I'm much more intentional about mentioning Black history during any shows that I'm at.
Okay.
So, because I'm a Black comedian, right? So my experience is going to come from me being Black first and funny second. So when I'm there, I'll make mention about Black history, or I might add MLK or Barack in the joke just to season it up. I might use the N-word a couple more times willingly just to make sure that you know that.
And this is why if you're not Black, you might not get it, because I know somebody somewhere is like, he's going to celebrate Black History Month by saying the N-word.
Yeah, but my point is like being intentional about what I say. Like I can try not to, right? But it's rooted in the experience. Those same people who use some words to try to like make people feel bad, I'm able to take that same word and use it in a way that I can connect with other people.
From the derogatory.
Yeah. So and it's also a word other people can't say. And maybe I might just start to show, all right, everybody, let's say this. Right, and we can start there.
Some of y'all know not to say.
Yeah, obviously, right.
Make the disclaimer.
But that's
some of y'all know not to say.
But for people to realize this is a joke, if that makes sense, and if and when you say it, so my mind, anything different, I already shop Black as much as I can. Right, I always promote Black as much as I can. So I don't know there's much more for me to do other than when I'm doing a show to mention Black history is made. Every time I do a show, I'm like, y'all know that Black history should be celebrated every day and not just in February, right? I do that almost every show. Is one joke particularly I do that's like that. So
I agree, and I do. One, undeniably, there will be a surge in events this month.
Next month.
I'm already.
I can tell the fact that you want to do Black history now. I'm like, why are we in January?
Because the next time we come back in, it'll be the 3rd.
You literally could have waited just the next week.
No, we've got guests, and we'll talk about it all month. But I wanted to, and also, really honestly, I wanted to get the word out today because I want to make sure that Black-owned business owners, entrepreneurs, reach out and talk to us.
Yes.
I want to interview new folks. I know some of the other places that have previously highlighted our businesses might not be able to do it, and if they are, they won't be able to do it to the level that they have. So I want to help to fill that gap, and then I want to continue the kind of pattern that I've had over the last couple of years here on this show, on this platform. And also, to know me is to know that I every day I'm walking the street of, I'm on that lane of supporting Black entrepreneurship, other Black folks, and highlighting and supporting Black excellence, lifting folks. Like I'm unapologetically rooted in this culture, and I'm going to speak up in the ways that I do. And I also am going to aspire to do a little bit more intentionally in this month, in February, because it is. I mean, for whatever you say or don't say. I mean, one of the things I'm doing is this, right? I'm opening up the platform here and making sure that I highlight, like, as I go out, even if you don't reach out to me, if I reach out to you, you'll know what it's about. I'm going to make sure, just like last year, I talked to, if you go back in the archives, go to February, and you'll see every single week I highlighted a Black business owner. And I would say that a lot of them were folks that either people didn't know them personally because they grew up here and they didn't understand the depths of their business, or they're people that I know to be dope that a lot of people just didn't, under the radar. And what I loved about it is that each time I interviewed somebody, they name dropped people. And by the end, if you listen to all 4 weeks, you'll hear people naming each other, right? And that was unintentional, but that just is because like minds, right? And so when you go in, and if I'm searching out, especially last year, I was being very specific and intentional about Black excellence, Black male-led businesses. And it was dope how many had mentored each other, supported each other, looked to each other in that way. And it was beautiful. And so that's one of the things, is sharing this platform intentionally, even though, we speak from the American Black perspective pretty much always on this show. And I want to take that time. This year, I want to try to reach out to the ladies. So specifically Black female-led organizations, especially if you're an organization that doesn't get a lot of media coverage, if you're not a business, if you've just been plugging away, working hard, and we don't necessarily hear about you, please reach out to us, because I want to take this time to highlight you. So you can also be in the archives, so I can tell people, hey, go to our archives. Because I'm always telling people, it's not just the live show where we do good work.
Right.
I tell people all the time, go to the archives,
Right.
because you might have missed the show, but there's a lot of gems in there.
That I want to piggyback on. I think it's very important. I want to make sure this is a disclaimer. Put this anywhere in the show. Please make sure you share the show.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can talk till we blue in the face, but where else do you see or hear stuff like this on the regular, right? If it's the live, share the live. If you, it's the link, all the shows are archived, share that link, right? It's important because we need to amplify the voices who are pushing positivity in our community, right? So that's one. Then the same way Tara says she wants to do the black women. I love black men, black women, right? So whatever, black or brown, let's do that, like men and or women. And I want to, we've had this conversation offline many times. Our guest spot is going to be 15 minutes, because if we got a lot of black businesses or black or brown owned businesses, we have to give you a 15-minute segment before we've had hosts to come, or a guest host to come for a whole show. We love you. Get your 15 minutes in, and then maybe somebody else is able to get their 15 minutes in, and we can get multiple businesses. So if you can come to the studio, it's always great, because it's a good vibe, good energy. You see each other. If not, we can create a link for you to be able to call in or join us.
Well, in February, I really try hard to get as many voices as possible. And so also, if Tuesday 8 to 9 is not something you can do and you're not available for, still reach out, because last year they gave me a nifty mic that I could take around, and I got pretty good with it. And so we can come to you, and I'll interview you in the community. Several of the interviews I did last February were in the community, and it was great. So
yeah, and if it's Black History Month, I think it's important that if we're going to interview you, you need to be eating neck bones, chicken, watermelon, grape.
Oh,
This is what if we want to see.
You just start out talking about slave food. He got it. Here he go, y'all. Here he go.
Hey, we want to see you.
No, watermelon is actually very culturally.
We want to see you in kente cloth. We want to see your authentic African garbs. We want to make
but that's actually that's funny you say that, because that's actually a thing that kind of. It's like people who only go to church on Easter and Christmas Eve. Yeah. If that's not how you moving on a regular basis, is that appropriation or is that real? Because that's not African American culture. That's not Black American culture. That is African culture. And so if you don't regularly do that and you're not invested in that, I'm not saying don't do it, but don't come dressed up because it's at Black History Month and some stuff you're not wearing the rest of the
I say do it. I say do it, because at some point in time, I mean, I get what you're talking about, the appropriation.
I'm
stuff
just
like that.
Cultural appropriation can happen, like anyway. That's not. It's not a thing that because you're Black and I'm Nigerian and I'm African American, I can't do. I can, just like we can be colonials too. Like Black people investing in Africa and just going there and spending money and buying up property can very much so look like colonialism.
I still want to see our people in some of those very beautiful.
You just want to see it, some Black
excellence?
If it's coming from the right place and you feel excellent in it, I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah, I'm not talking about appropriation.
But talking about
something
low key, I'm a little judgy.
A love for the culture.
All right.
Don't let me forget, I got some quick announcements.
Come on, because this is your time. Okay. Let's go. Let's hear.
Okay, quick announcements. So over at the Urban League, there is a job seekers toolkit. So if you are looking for a job, looking for employment, tap in at the Urban League. If you need to, ask for me, Antoine McNeil. I'll get you in contact with an employment specialist.
Why do I say your name better than you?
Okay.
McNeil. You got to add that.
Yeah, that's right. This is important for you to tell me how to say my name.
It is.
I've only had for almost 45 years. I appreciate you. Right? So so if you're looking for a job, need help with resumes, stuff like that, building your social media presence, please tap in. That class starts on Wednesday. You can take them individually, or you can just take them all together. There's also...
mad at my sense of drama.
You are interested.
Antoine McNeil.
No, they have the Fatherhood Unfiltered event, and that is in March. And I think everybody should get signed up for that. If you're a father or even a mother, want to hear about men from men, you got a son that's been through the system, or child support or whatever, come talk. Child support will be there. I just want to hear those voices in March. It's a fatherhood program on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 3. So if you just want to be around another group of people in fellowship or get some information, custody, child support, all that kind of other stuff, come on the west side of Madison. It's 1233 McKenna Boulevard for the Fatherhood Program.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing.
No, that's it. And then they got an expungement program coming up soon as well. But let me hit what you got. And that's all I'm gonna take for the church announcement today.
That's it. That's our time. Thank y'all for tuning in. Tuesday,
Two turned
8
up.
o'clock. Two turned up.
You gonna say the buzz? Let me tell you,
buzz.
we two turned up.
Okay, all right. Thank y'all for tuning in, joining us. We'll see you. I always say we'll see you next week, even though they can't see me. I guess they can.
Yes, there you go.
They can. I can't see them. I can just see you.
Yes.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Well.